All right, you guys, boy, do I have an interesting case on my hands today. So this car came back last night and came back with some issues. The guests were definitely kind of shady. They dropped off the car without any communication. I had messaged them multiple times, no response. And then when it was time for the car to come back, I went to the return location just to see if it was there, and it happened to be there. And literally from a half mile away, I could smell the weed smell coming out of the car. And sure enough, it was my car. So the weed smell and the smoke and the ash and the extent of what is going on inside of this car is the least of my worries because of what's going on the outside of the car. So I actually want to show you guys because I've never quite experienced anything like this. So I'm also quite interested in seeing how this claim goes. I don't anticipate to have any issues, but this damage is a bit different. Like I said, the car is basically non-operable. When I turn it on, it's just this major clunking sound, so definitely not drivable, which is probably why they didn't even tell me that they returned the car. I don't even know how they returned the car. Maybe they got it towed. No idea. So let's go take a look at what's going on here. Okay, so first there was some obvious damage on the outside of the car. Ooh, that's a good lighting right there. That is not like scratches. That's like somebody keyed the car. So let me zoom in a little bit and see if you guys can see this. There you go. And those scratches are quite deep. Then we move on to the door panel where you see that ding. And I don't know if you can see it right here. There's another odd ding where it's like pushed outwards. It's so strange. And then there's a third one at the bottom right there. Okay, so this is what caught my eye first, and I was like, okay, not the worst thing I've seen in the world. You can take this to like a PDR place and it's a pretty easy fix. I already have a shop that does, paint jobs like this. I've done things like that before, so this is all really easy and not really stuff to worry about. But then as I started making my way around the car, I first kind of noticed these scratches on the front of the bumper right there in the middle. By the way, guys, this flashlight that I'm using, it's called an O light. Amazing. For being so small, it works really well. Okay, so you can really clearly see where the scratches on the front of the bumper are. Then as I made my way around, I started noticing these scratches right here. So pretty bad. And it kind of went along the wheel well as well. Then I looked at the rim and I was like, okay, so rim has pretty bad curb rash all around it. And then the thing that really caught my eye was how this rim is bent like this. I have never seen a rim come back like this. I mean, it's literally bent inwards, which tells me that they hit something really hard for a rim to bend like that. I mean, it's nuts. This is not a chunk that's missing out of the rim. It's literally bent going in this way. So whatever they hit, it was bad for a rim to bend like that. Okay, so then, I took all the photos. That was the extent of the damage. And I turned the car on, and right away, as soon as I turned it on, I knew something was way off. And sure enough, as I opened the hood, I realized, hey, what is this piece sitting right here? That does not look good. And as I further investigated, I noticed that whatever they hit right here hit so hard that it actually blew out the strut of the car, okay? So let me just show you guys real quick. This round thing right here is part of the strut, I think. Hopefully my terminology is correct. So let me show you what it's supposed to look like. So here we are on the driver's side. This is what it normally looks like. You see this housing right here. It's all metal on top. I mean, this is like strong stuff, right? And for that to blow out means whatever they hit impacted so hard that it blew out the housing on the top, and like this piece that we saw. And look at where it cracked. I mean, that's insane for that to crack like that. And then not only that, there is a corresponding mark on the hood right here. And so actually this little black spot right here is what I'm pointing to. And it hit so hard that when you close the hood of the car, it's actually misaligned. That's how hard the impact was. So this is some really crazy damage. I am going to have this car towed to my body shop today and have them start looking at it and figuring out like what this is going to be. I mean, is this even going to be something that can be repaired pretty easily? If it's too expensive, is this car going to get totaled out? I really have no idea. So yeah, just absolutely crazy. You can see where it like pushed through here as well. Luckily it didn't harm this electrical wiring here, but for any of my friends that know about cars out there, I mean, it's insane how that's cracked. Just wild. Okay, so in this case, what I would advise is this. This car came back at night last night. So of course at night things are always harder to see. I had to get this like pushed into my garage so that I could get some photos with lighting. So in the event that you find yourself in a situation where a car comes back at night, you always want to take as many photos as you can. Use a flashlight if you have to. Use an iPhone 11 with night mode or any camera that you have with night mode. That's really helpful. And then remember, you always have that 24-hour window by the time a trip ends and you need to get everything uploaded. So wait until the morning and get your additional photos because documentation is key. Listen, guys, I know that there's a lot of you out there. You guys run into trouble with claims. I see the messages. I see the comments, and you know, knock on wood, I don't want to like jinx myself, but in my 6 years of almost doing this, I haven't had those issues. And every time I get messages where people are having issues with claims, and I always ask them, okay, well, did you take these photos and did you submit them in the time frame? The answer is always no. They don't have photos of the damaged area or they didn't upload them. There's always something to it. And I know that this is probably not what you guys want to hear out there, but it's the truth. If you follow the system and you do the proper documentation and you do it in time, there's just no way that your claim is going to get denied. You know, maybe once in a blue moon, it might. I've experienced that as well. There is that human error factor to it, yes, but that percentage is so nominal. You should not experience it. In my so many years of doing it, I've only experienced it maybe like once or twice. And even that, the one claim on my Vanderhall that they did get wrong just simply because of human error, it was later on reviewed and they actually did get back to me and say, this was an error on our end. But by that point, I had already settled it out with my guest, so it actually didn't matter. So the truth is, if you want to get your claims covered, you have to make the effort to document your cars. And of course, if you have more cars in your fleet, the harder it is because it requires more time. So if you don't have systems set in place to where you're making sure that you're taking photos and you're uploading them on time and you're capturing everything, you're taking your tire tread measurements. I mean, if you're not doing these things, you're going to be more susceptible to your claims not being approved. That's just the fact of the matter. Yes, Turo is very strict on the requirements for checking in and checking out of your cars and in order for them to be eligible for claims. I'm not disputing that. They are very strict. They do have a lot of requirements and it's a lot of little things that you have to do, but that's just a part of it. That's the cost you pay for having this opportunity. And if it's an issue for you, then you really have to ask yourself, you know, should I be in this business if I'm not willing to do these things? Because that is just the fact of the matter, is that we're playing by somebody else's rules. That's what happens when you're in a marketplace. And it's not just this marketplace. Every marketplace is like this with their own variations of it. So, you know, it's just something that you have to really have that conversation with yourself and ask yourself, what risk are you allowing yourself to be susceptible to if you are not doing a thorough job at documenting the conditions of your vehicles and doing them in time. And I'm going to give you a prime example of what happened to me the other day. So we're talking about human error for somebody like me who has been doing this for years, and I have thousands of trips under my belt. I messed up. I had a trip last week. Car went out. Thank goodness it didn't come back with damage because I forgot to check in the trip. I could not believe that. I wanted to kick myself. I took the photos. I did all my photos, did my due diligence, tire tread, gas, mileage, everything. But I forgot to upload them. I literally forgot to upload them to the trip. And I'm so lucky that that car didn't come back with damage because I would have been screwed. But guess what? That car came back with like 400 or 500 miles in excess mileage. And I would have gotten, I think, around $500 for the excess mileage. And guess who's not getting that $500? Me, because I didn't check in the car. I didn't upload the dash photos in time. And you know, of course, I tried to use my sweet talk with the claims agent, not the claims agent, but the support team, like, please, can you make an exception? I didn't follow the system, so I have to pay a price for that, and that's the price that I paid. It's painful, so you better believe that I'm gonna be double, triple checking that I upload these photos. I mean, it was just a damn it moment, like, can't believe I did that, but it happens, right? So you have to check yourself, and you have to know that on your end there's going to be human errors too. It's just, we're all human. This is a business of humans and human interaction, so it's going to happen. So thank goodness that I didn't make that mistake on this car that came back with all of this damage. Imagine how horrible that would have been. That's my little spiel on that. You have to be super thorough. Watch my videos. I literally have videos showing you how to take photos and how to upload them. And if you need even more than that, then I would highly recommend that you sign up for my membership site on Saimah's Experience, because I've literally created a course on how to take pictures, how to submit your photos, what the guidelines are, what the timelines are. So, you know, if you're finding yourself in that position to where it's hard for you, I would recommend, if you're looking for something more, go to the membership site so that you can kind of study those things. It's organized and it's easy to get through. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted on this reservation. We'll see what happens, because this is just such a weird one, right? I don't know. I really don't know. This is crazy. So I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, you guys, on that note, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Saimah. This is Saimah's Experience. If you like this channel, be sure to subscribe. The membership is now available at saimahsexperience.com. All the details are in the description down below. I hope you guys are all doing well and having great rental weekends. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.